A click, that's all it takes to capture a photograph today. A phone in your hand, a tap on the screen, and a memory is captured in an instant. But there was a time when photography was more than convenience. It was patience, precision, and a craft carefully practiced behind the lens. In the heart of Mumbai stands Hamilton Studios, a place that has witnessed generations, preserved countless memories, and evolved alongside photography itself. From the era of film rolls and dark rooms to today's digital world, this studio holds more than photographs. It holds history. Today, we step inside Hamilton Studios to uncover its remarkable journey, the memories hidden within its walls, and how this iconic space continues to adapt in a rapidly changing world.
Each individual is taken according to what his face speaks. Zeenat had come in for her marriage photograph actually. And when my father got her to pose, he says, "You'll be a very good model." What a brush can do, a machine can't do. What your hand can do, a machine can't do. What your eyes can do, a computer can't do.
Welcome, ma'am, to our the newsman. First of all, I want to know, how would you describe the Hamilton Studio to a youngster who has just clicked a photograph from his smartphone?
Well, when you talk about a smartphone and when he comes and says, what is the difference? The first thing I will tell him, look around you. Do you find the difference? Because being young, sometimes people don't know what they're looking for. So they need to look around to see what is it that you're looking for. If you're just looking for a snapshot, your phone picture is fine. Your smartphone works. But if you're not looking for that and you're looking for something better, then you need to go to Hamilton.
Talking about your father, what was the most important thing that he has taught you as a photographer? Because you are a women photographer. So what was one thing that he taught you that stayed with you as a photographer?
It's not only one thing that he taught me n number of things which really have stayed with me and will stay with me till the end of my life. And if you ask me for that one thing, he says, you have to be dashing and never give it up. Any challenge, face it. Do it and do it well, so that the other person will not feel that you're incapable. Never show you're incapable. And which is really a fact, because you have to break your head for certain things. We do restoration also. So there are times when I'm sitting with the brush and the photograph to be restored. And that's when you realize that yes, there is something more you can add to the picture, something you need to minus from that picture. So there are so many things that come to you as a challenge.
All right.
So it's something different.
So, ma'am, I've read a lot of your interviews and you said you take around 45 minutes for one portrait shoot. So what happens in those 45 minutes? How do you mentally and physically, prepare that shot?
Well, first it goes with the lighting also, which takes a little time looking at the person and, trying to see how I can get the best from that person. So when we do some such thing, I have to concentrate on many, many things at once. So when I'm concentrating on just that little thing, I keep the person talking.
Okay.
So that he or she doesn't get bored. If it is a child, I'm very fast. But if it is not a child, then I keep talking to the person, asking them questions, talking about themselves. So there are many things that come up at that point of time. And, that's how I adjust my lighting. And I get the best out of that person.
Talking about the legacy of Hamilton Studio, how would you describe that? Because Hamilton Studio has kind of captured the essence of Mumbai. So how would you describe that? What was the legacy for you?
Oh, it's something more than I can describe, because yes, Hamilton stands for itself. And what has happened right through the years is something very memorable, and something that people would love to look into as and when I bring it out.
Ah.
And of course, I'm in the process of doing that. It's taking me time because every time I see something, I say, this is better. And then I see something else and I say, no, this is better than that. So, it goes on and on that way. And a little difficult to choose what you really want. Now, somebody may say that, okay, you may need a curator for it. No, I don't. Because I know what part of Hamilton to bring out.
Right.
Because of his legacy, because what Sir Victor Sassoon left for my father and my father left for me, it's something that is very, very valuable, especially for Mumbai, not only for Mumbai, for the whole of India, I would say.
All right.
It is something that anybody and everybody would love to go through with. Of course, you have to be an artist to know that.
Ma'am, can you walk us through the process of your photography? How do you, what makes Hamilton different from other studio, from other kind of photography?
Honestly, we haven't really been going out looking at other people's work for the simple reason that we are so much into ourselves that there is so much to do. Yes, I look at photographs which come by the way to me and I do see what has been done. But everybody has their own expertise and they do their work the way they should want to do it, or whether, whatever they want from it. But we look at quality more than quantity. So if you ask me quality, yes, there is a photograph which came to me from one of the editors, which was like dating back to 1800s, 1817 or 1819, somewhere there. And he wanted it restored. So I said, how much would you like to spend on it? And he says, if I can see the faces clearly, I'll be happy. So yes, I told, and he said, how much time would you take? I said, 8 months to a year.
Oh my.
Not working on your Lightroom or Adobe, nothing, working with the brush. And yes, I gave it to him within about 8 months. And it was something he was too happy with. So it was some ancestral photograph that he had. And that was how it was.
Now I have to ask you, why haven't you touched these, heavy tools and things like Photoshop and Lightroom? Why haven't you touched that? Why have you chose to be who you are?
What a brush can do, a machine can't do. What your hand can do, a machine can't do. What your eyes can do, a computer can't do.
Okay, so
A
ma'am,
simple answer to that question.
so when we talk about Hamilton Studio, we have to speak about the kind of figures you have captured. Your father have captured, and you might have also captured those figures like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and so many Bollywood celebrity as well. You have, captured these celebrity and as well as common citizens. So how do you change your lens for those people, when a celebrity comes to you as compared to an ordinary citizen?
Whether ordinary or a celebrity, all are the same.
All right.
So when you are looking at a person, you're looking at that soul. You're not looking at the person for what he or she has gained in his life. You're looking at the person for whatever you want to give and the person wants to get. So I would say it is more a soul talk than talking about a human looking at where each one stands or trying to show the person up here and down here. No, that's not something we do. Whether it's a poor person, whether it's an underprivileged person, whether it's a rich person, whether somebody is coming in a Benz car or somebody comes, they're all equal. And they're treated with respect. So the question there does not arise for us, and each individual is taken according to what his face speaks.
Wow. All right.
According to what his thinking is, according to what he is, he or she, whoever. So it is not just, we don't look at something beyond that. Oh, you're another human. Okay, hi, how are you? It's that.
Okay.
It was as simple as that. So we had Persis Kambata, we had Zeenat Aman, as you see. Zeenat had come in for her marriage photograph, actually.
All right.
Factually, the thing was that her mother had come in for some kind of proposals because all the marriage photographs used to be done here.
Hmm.
So she had come in for that. And when my father got her to pose, he says, "You'll be a very good model." And mother said, "No, I will not allow this to happen." So he says, "Well, why don't you give it a shot?" And we were, at that time, we had hired somebody who had just learned from London and come here. And he was doing the modeling part of it because modeling photography, the lighting is very, very different from portraiture. So he was doing that kind of photography. And then my dad used to be there when she was photographed. And that gentleman would take her photograph. And, you know, that's how we used to do the Mafatlal calendars. And all these calendars used to be done. Bombay Dyeing, Mafatlal, all these were the calendars in those days where you had all these models.
So, as a woman photographer, do you see any difference? You know, have you ever feel biasness towards you because you are a woman photographer? And it must be a big deal at that time, you know, as a woman running the studio. So, what would you like to?
You face challenges, but you have to overcome them. So, for me, that was not something I was really worried about because I'm a strong woman, so I had nothing to worry about as such. And yes, it was a challenge in the sense that we had many, in those days, it was more a man's world, I would say. Now, it's very, very different. So, when I learned photography also, it was a man's world. And I was one of the women who was in that class.
Oh.
So, yes. So, it felt a little funny, but okay, that's fine.
Okay, how do you see this generation? You know, when you see Gen Zs, they are very eager about photography. They click thousands of pictures in a day. So, how do you see this generation? They are using these digital tools like AI and heavy for Photoshop's kind of tools. What would your one message to a Gen Z person?
Well, I wouldn't say anything much because with the time limit that they have, maybe this is a tool that they are using to make things happen faster, which is okay. But a person who's really interested in photography should look at the other side also. Should first start with the manual and then go into AI. He will not touch AI.
You think that is more fun than AI?
Oh yes, any day. Any day. So it's something AI cannot do for you.
So, ma'am, lastly, I would like to know what is the future of the Hamilton Studio? How would you preserve this legacy ahead?
I'm trying my level best to preserve it the way I can. We've done quite a few archival bit with the British Library as well as the UCLA, looking out for another grant, applied to a few places. So hopefully we should get another grant from abroad, not from here. And then take it from there because, yeah, we need to preserve this definitely. And probably, you know, I know much more because of being with my dad for almost 40 years. We were together. So working under him, working for him, doing things, you know, for him, it has made a hell of a difference. And because of which I think the faster I work at it, the better it is. Because Hamilton, yes, cannot die. And it will not die. And I'm very sure of that.
That is really good to know. Thank you so much, ma'am, for talking to us.